Because if you're operating out of the sympathetic nervous system, again, that's going to be fight or flight, you're not going to release weight. And so that's a big piece of it. And the second piece of it is the insulin resistance. So most women, they're either skipping breakfast, they're having coffee on an empty stomach, they might be eating some carrot sticks with no protein. So really understanding blood sugar balance is important for weight, because if you don't manage your insulin and you don't manage your blood sugar and you go hours without eating, your body will store more fat.
Hi, everyone. My name is Anesha, and I'm your host for the Wellness Plus podcast. In today's episode, I'm excited to introduce you to Dee Davidson, a leading functional health practitioner and hormone health expert. Dee's journey from grappling with unexpected weight gain despite her commitment to fitness and clean eating to navigating the challenges of IVF treatment led her to uncover the importance of hormonal balance. Now, Dee dedicates her expertise to guiding others on their own paths to wellness. Hi, Dee. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Hi, thanks so much for having me.
Can you start by telling our viewers about your story and how it led you to discover hormonal balancing?
Sure. Yes, my love for hormone health is really in three parts, but it did start with unexplained infertility. I joke around and say that so many women go so many years trying to prevent getting pregnant, and then you go to start a family and you realize that nothing's happening. We did every test under the sun, and we were put in this frustrating category called unexplained infertility. So I started to join some support groups and really do some research for my own health in regard to unexplained infertility and the rise in infertility, especially in the United States, and realized we have a real issue. A lot of things that people are just on autopilot using, processed food, certain beauty products we use, our water quality, all of these things are really pointing to the direction of more people being in this unexplained infertility category. And so over the years, that was my son is going to be, my oldest son is going to be 14, and he's an IVF baby. God bless science. Over the years, a lot of people were referring to me for information, and they might have known someone that was trying to get pregnant or conceive, that type of thing. And so I kind of became an expert in it just because I went through it and did so much research and continued to advocate for awareness and education around it. Post having my second child, he was conceived naturally, so I did learn quite a bit of things. And was it coincidental, or was it because I did now apply a lot of the things that I had learned? We'll never know. But my 12-year-old is conceived naturally, first try, healthy pregnancy. And
Nice.
yeah, what happened after I had my second child was I was almost 50 pounds heavier than I am now. And I am only 5 feet tall. So I started to then learn more about hormones. I learned about how women's bodies change through pregnancy. We all have different stressors. I had the gestational diabetes with my second pregnancy. And of course, I went through infertility treatments, which I'm sure messed my hormones up the first round. So I had to understand insulin resistance. And regardless of going to the gym 5 or 6 days a week and eating real food and all that stuff, I had to really understand more about how insulin resistance works, and that insulin is actually a hormone. I never even knew that prior. So I, educated myself there, and then fast forward, I'll be 50 in a few months. And the women around me are going through perimenopause and menopause, another hormonal issue. And, I was just talking to someone else yesterday about the fact that women 45 plus, if they're gaining weight, if they're not sleeping, if they have hot flashes, we've just been told that it's the way it is in the stage of life that we're in. And that is so not true. So right now, I still help people with infertility and insulin resistance, weight gain, all of that stuff. But right now, my passion really is to help women not settle after age 40, after having kids, for being unhappy with what they see in the mirror, for not having good energy, for not having good sleep. Because my favorite saying is it's your birthright to have all of those things, and you can. And maybe society has molded us to just think it is just the way it is, stage of life, which is not true. So that is what has brought me to the place that I'm at today in my hormone health business.
That's an incredible story. That's amazing.
Thank you.
You said with your second child, you were able to conceive naturally.
Hmm.
Would you mind telling us about that and
Yeah.
how you were able to navigate through your own journey with identifying your hormones and how that had affected you?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, going back to my infertility journey with my first son, I can tell you that I send so much love, and I have a family member going through it right now, and you just saw her over Easter, and I can feel the pain instantly bringing me back to that point of what's wrong with me. And I just want to send so much love out to anyone watching this going through the infertility journey because nothing's wrong with you. Um, I do believe that we all have these things happen for whatever reason. I believe that I was meant to experience it to share and help other women. And it was very painful. I remember coming home, I was working a corporate job back then, and the UPS or FedEx or whatever dropped off this huge box of needles and medications. And I remember just getting under the covers and crying, sobbing until my ex-husband came home and consoled me. But, again, thinking like, what did I do to myself? What's wrong with me? Why are all these other people having children? And then joining some of those support groups and understanding that, first of all, birth control, I think, was a big contributor to the suppression of my hormones. I think a lot of women, it's changing. There was just an article in the Washington Post, I don't know if you caught it, about more younger women going off of birth control. And
Yeah.
did you see that?
Yes. Yes.
I love it because they're becoming educated in the fact that you're really putting your body into a coma, I call it. You have birth control coma, where your body forgets what it's supposed to do on its own. And it's being prescribed for things like acne, painful periods, mood swings, anything. It's like, oh, go on birth control. You get to menopause, go on birth control. And you never get to the root cause of the issue. But I think that was one of the things that happened to my body was I was on birth control from age 17 through my 30s. I had my first son at age 36. It's a long time to have your body just working on something synthetic, telling it what it's supposed to do. So that's the number one thing that I think contributed. And I hear over and over again from a lot of the women that I connect with that went through infertility journeys that they go on to have two, four, even one woman that I know had 6 children naturally after that. I feel that the drugs kind of kicked me out of that. It's like when your battery is dead in the driveway in your car, you get that jump start, and then your body's like, oh, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to do. Yeah. And then just understanding that there are endocrine disrupting chemicals everywhere that affect our hormones. So when I work with women to balance their hormones, we check everything from how much processed food are you eating, because if your body can't understand and break down chemicals properly, then you could be messing with your hormones, causing stress in your body, inflammation, all of these other things that are going to make conceiving the last priority of your body. Your body's number one goal is always going to be to keep you alive and thriving. So your reproductive system isn't really high on that. More so, not getting bad bacterias, not catching the latest thing that's going around, and keeping your breathing. So that's one of the things is looking at what you're eating. Is it real food? Are you balancing your blood sugar levels? I know a lot of women, I didn't have PCOS, but it is something that's talked about a lot more now. I hear that a lot. Blood sugar regulation. Are you eating enough? A lot of women aren't eating enough calories. They're not eating consistently every 3 or 4 hours to balance their blood sugar. Again, I wasn't in that category, but that is something that I became aware of. Products were a big one for me. I was a product junkie. I had the Bath and Body Works lotion sprays, the shower gels, like all of the different scents, and I love them, as well as things like Yankee Candle. And I don't mind calling them out because it appalls me that this stuff is sold and people don't know unless they live in the state of California.
You mean with
California,
all the chemicals and the perfumes and all the
yeah,
additives
yeah.
just destroy our bodies?
Yeah, it destroys your hormones. They're endocrine disruptors. And if you live in the state of California, they do disclose if you're at CVS or any of these stores, it'll say right on your perfume or your shampoo, It's known to the state of California that there are endocrine disrupting chemicals in here, cancer causing
Yes.
chemicals, but that's the only place that you'll find those warnings. I'm in Massachusetts. I never got any of those warnings. And I was really, really angry because I had used this stuff for so many years. And here I was trying to conceive, and did it contribute or not? We can't ever, that's the thing with these companies too, is they can get through the loophole of, well, you can't prove it was our chemical or our product, but there's a lot of research out there. And for California and then countries like, Australia and the European countries to be banning these chemicals, but the United States isn't, it's a pretty big red flag that we all need to be aware of. So cleaning up my personal care, not just what I put in my mouth, but the outer stuff I had no idea about. So I cleaned that up till this day. I'm pretty good. I dye my hair. I paint my nails, right? I'm not going to live in a bubble. I tell people it's what you do mostly. You don't have to drive yourself crazy, because then you'll be driving yourself crazy. And exercise is the third piece. I thought I was doing a great thing by exercising 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week. And I would do boot camps, and I would do weights and cardio in the same session. And a lot of women don't realize that exercise can actually become a stressor and prevent you from, again, if your body perceives exercise as a stressor and you're pumping cortisol, you're going to have a hard time conceiving. So I also had to learn to tone it down and joyfully exercise. I have a blog post in regard to joyful movement for women who are cycling, because I think that the society we live in now is push, 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 go, go, go. Oh, I have to get to my boot camp today. I have to do this workout. And if more women tracked their cycle and understood why they felt so tired, or why they really did feel that hungry or that craving, they would feel so much better if they engaged in joyful movement instead of forcing themselves to do a certain workout. So those are some of the basic things that I shifted, that whether or not they had an impact, we'll never know. But it was, one try, and my son was here. So
That's amazing. Here are you able to navigate through all those steps and determine what works for you and what doesn't. Hey guys, I would like to take a moment to introduce you to our app, Yoga Plus. You will have access to an incredible selection of videos led by top instructors in yoga, fitness, nutrition, and so much more. Download our Yoga Plus app, available on iOS and Android today.